everyone, welcome to episode 35 of Otome Shimai.
I'm Vki.
And I'm Vka.
And we are sisters who play ultimate games.
Hi, sister.
Hi, sister.
Good to see you again.
I see you almost every day.
That's not... Yeah, okay, mostly every day.
So good to see you again?
Yeah.
I saw you on Saturday? When's the last time I saw you?
Sunday.
Okay, yeah. It's Wednesday now.
It's Wednesday now.
We're recording on a Wednesday. That's
yes, we
pretty
are.
unusual.
It is very rare for us to record on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
We did not get a chance to record this past weekend, so we are recording today.
Yeah.
On a midweek.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little tired. I had a full work day. Vicky's also a little tired. She had a full stream day.
I streamed earlier, so I'm all warmed up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a little hyper, and it's confusing my sister.
Yeah, it really is, because it's like evening, and I'm like winding down for bed, and she's like, let's play!
Oh, you also brought me coffee.
I did, yeah, that was... Ah, it's decaf!
So?
Okay, let's do this.
What are we doing today?
We are doing Lineup and Size Up, ranking the allies of BustaFellows.
BustaFellows? BustaFellows.
That's right. So we did not get to do a ranking episode when we did our reviews and twos for BustaFellows, so we're going to do it today. Yes. And I feel like it's a little serendipitous because I spent a little bit of time on the BustaFellows Radio YouTube channel this morning, and oh my goodness, I forgot how great the VAs are for this game. They're so good. I loved it.
Who's your favorite?
To be honest, I was listening to Scarecrow a lot today.
What?
I know.
Okay, so Scarecrow has a really good voice actor.
He does.
Scarecrow's voice actor is in a lot of things.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so, I mean, that makes sense. But I know that your favorite is Mozu.
That is true. But I was listening to a lot of Scarecrow's little bits and pieces, and it was really fun. So,
Aww.
yeah.
Well, but before we get into it...
Who are you doing this week?
Sister, who are you doing this week?
Me? I thought you were going to go first.
No, you're going to go first.
Okay, well, I have been playing Olympia Soiree. And I said this in the last episode. I was doing our sexy doctor's route, but I finished his route.
Good job.
And so now I'm doing Himuka's route.
Oh, creepy baby.
I don't know if he's a creepy baby, but I like him a lot.
He looks like a creepy baby.
He does. He looks very feminine and very cute, and I'm into it, to be honest.
You like the creepy babies.
I do. I feel very fondly about Himuka.
Yeah.
He's so sweet.
The only thing that would make him more of a creepy baby is if he was voiced by Kaji Yuki.
That's true. No, he is not voiced by Kaji Yuki.
There's a creepy baby voiced by Kaji Yuki in the game I'm playing right now.
Is there?
Yes, there is.
What game is that?
It is Touken Ranbu Warriors.
That's not an Otome game.
It is not an Otome game.
But that's what you're doing this week?
That is what I'm doing this week.
Okay, tell us more about that.
Well, you make the ikemen based on swords fight for you, and if they get damaged, then their shirts fall off.
So the premise of the game is just to make them fight and take off their clothes?
Oh, there's also time travel.
That sounds less interesting.
Time travel and shirts falling off?
No. The shirts falling off is very interesting, but the time travel aspect, I'm not so interested in.
What about time travel back to the Sengoku era?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But also with shirts falling off.
But
I
also
like that.
with shirts falling off.
Okay, cool. So we're playing some fun games this week.
Yeah. I really, really like making Tombo Kiri's shirt fall off.
Tombo Kiri, because he's the muscular one?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
I like giving him lots of XP.
And what does that mean?
It means I use him a lot and make his shirt fall off, so he's the highest level on my team.
I feel like I should count how many times you say shirt fall off, or I say shirt fall off in this episode.
No shirt. Goodbye, shirt. They don't need shirts.
Well, anyways, let's go on to today's main topic, unless you want to talk more about Tombo Kiri's little...
They're not little.
Okay, my bad.
They're very large.
They're very large muscles, huh?
And I want to squish my face in them.
Wow.
You would too.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, except you don't play this game.
I do not play this game.
You know, my boyfriend bought me this game.
I am aware.
It was very nice of him.
Yes.
I was like, I like this game, but I don't want to spend money to buy this game. And he was like, I got you, boo.
Wow. I love that your boyfriend is just enabling you to take other men's shirts off.
I mean, as long as they're not, like, real, he doesn't care. I also don't care. We are both weebs, okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know that.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
So what is our main topic?
Today, like I said earlier, we are going to be ranking the allies of BustaFellows. BustaFellows. In 5 different categories. The first one being character design, and then
personality,
and adaptability,
best match for MC,
and best at a job.
A job.
Just a job.
We'll figure out what job later.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But first, character design.
Character design.
So what question did you come up with? Because I know you have some great questions for us.
Well, the question for character design is always the same.
True.
Would I bone this man based on looks only?
Okay, so how are we going to go through this? We're going to just do it list by list?
Are we gonna do a ranking? Ranking, like top, like the bottom to top or top to bottom. Like who is the most bonable? Bonable.
Yes. Bonable with a V.
Yes.
For Vka and Vki!
Okay, that's what we're gonna call it now. Who is the most bonable?
Oh my god.
Based on their looks only. So most to least?
Yes.
You wanna do that?
Sure. Well, I definitely know my least. But it's hard for me to do most. Can I do it one by one?
Yeah. Most?
No, I want to do least to most.
Okay, fine. We're now doing least to most because Vka didn't want to do most to least.
It's harder for me.
Fine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Who's your least bonable?
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Scarecrow. You're so sweet and lovable, but I want to take care of you. I don't want to bone you.
Yeah, he seems more like a friend.
He does. Like a really good one with like good tech skills.
He also seems like a virgin, and I don't have the patience to teach anyone anything anymore.
He's sweet though. So yeah, sorry to that. I mean, okay, so objectively I like his character design. I like the clothes he wears. I like his like little bob. It's very cute. But I don't want to bone him.
Yeah. Neither do I. I'm sorry, Scarecrow.
I'm going to say no to bonable.
I know at least one person who's going to get real mad at us for that.
As do I. I knew exactly who was going to get mad at us before I said it.
Anyways.
And you know who you are.
Yes,
if
you know
you're listening
who you are.
to this episode.
Who's your number 4?
So my number 4, I think, is between Mozu and Limbo, but I'm not sure who's like number 4, number 3, or if they're at the same tier.
So I feel like you're saying that Scarecrow is definitely at the bottom, but a lot of the other ones are kind of in between. Like they're all bonable for you, but they're just not quite as bonable as some of them.
Yeah.
Or are you saying, because I know that Mozu is your favorite character, so that surprised me.
Yeah, he is my favorite character, yes. And I'm madly in love with him.
Yeah.
But just based on attractiveness and looks alone, I think it would be hard for me to go like, I want to bone that one.
Yeah.
Be a little hard.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I get it. Well, my number 4 is Mozu.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mozu's character design in terms of that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't look at him and I'm like, ooh, yeah, baby.
He's sweet too, though. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just a preference. You know, anyone can choose what they want to... who they want to bone based on what somebody looks like. That's your prerogative.
Yeah, okay. So your number 4, are you just saying that it's both Mozu and Limbo?
I think they're tied for me.
Okay, so then they'd be tied for 3 then, right?
Yeah, they'd be tied for 3.
Okay, what's your number 2?
You're gonna be real mad at me.
No, I'm not.
It's Shu.
You ranked him higher than Mozu. I'm not gonna be mad at you for that.
It's definitely Shu.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's hot. I definitely bone him, but I would much prefer to bone Helvetica.
Well, we know who your number 1 is.
Yes.
Can we do my top 3 now?
Sure. We can.
My number 3 is Helvetica.
Ah! Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, I'm not, like, he's pretty, but I'm also not into him. Like, honestly, the 3 at the bottom are all pretty bottom for me. Like, I don't look at them, and you know me, I don't like the pretty, like, kind of skinny type.
Yeah.
You know?
But he's a Megane.
That means nothing to me. I am also a Megane.
That's true. You don't want to bone yourself, do you?
What? Anyways, my number 2 is Limbo.
Your number 2 is Limbo. Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, my number 2 and my number 1 are both quite high up there. Obviously, my number 1 is Shu. I think that Shu is insanely sexy.
Yes.
I also think that Limbo is really sexy, though.
Do you?
I do. I think that Limbo's hot.
You know, I guess he does fit your stereotypical type. You tend to like the ones that are tall and have dark hair.
I do.
Yeah.
I like dark hair.
Yeah.
In real life too.
Yeah. I guess.
But yeah.
Yeah, I have too much variety. I like all kinds of hair, so that doesn't really make sense. It's more the personality for me.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting.
Yeah.
I really thought you were gonna go Shu wins them all and everyone else is not important.
No, I think that Limbo is very attractive. He's my second favorite LI, and they're both quite high up there, Limbo and Shu.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. We have
go.
differing opinions on this for sure.
I mean, yeah, in BustaFellows we definitely have really differing opinions. When we did the Pio Fiore one, that was interesting because we had very similar opinions on that game.
Yes.
But BustaFellows, we tend to debate a lot about things. So, What about question number 2, personality? How quickly would I kill this man if he were my roommate?
That's the question you came up with?
That is the question. How quickly would I kill this man if he were my roommate?
Okay, I have a clarifying question before we actually do the ranking. Do you mean roommate by you live in the same house with him, or do I actually have to share a physical space with this person?
Oh, it's like the setup that Tuta has with them. So you're sharing a house with him.
Okay. So I don't have to, live in the same room with them.
No, but you have to share a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living space.
Okay, that was my next question. Do I have to share a bathroom
You have to share a bathroom with them, you have to share a kitchen with them, you have to share a living space with them.
Shoot. Okay, the bathroom is going to really ruin it for me, isn't it?
It is going to really ruin it for you. Vka is not good at sharing bathrooms. Yeah. I have shared many more bathrooms than she has.
I don't like sharing bathrooms. I don't mind sharing a kitchen, I don't mind sharing a living space, but bathrooms are tough for me. I've always had my own bathroom.
I actually have my own bathroom now, and it's amazing. It's the first time I've had my own bathroom in years.
Isn't it a wonderful feeling?
It is. It's great, but I also wouldn't, complain if I were sharing a bathroom with somebody else.
Yeah. I do have to share a bathroom with my husband. And do I complain? Sometimes. Okay, well, let's see.
All right, so...
we can go top to bottom this time, if you want.
All right, so who would you be able to live with the most easily, I guess?
I think I would probably be able to live with Limbo the most easily. Because... Well, I don't see. I keep thinking about the bathroom. Would he be would he be a messy bathroom person or not? I know Mozu would have a very clean bathroom, and I know Helvetica would also have a very clean bathroom. But Limbo, I'm not so sure. But the other things about his personality make me feel like I could share a space with him. Like walking into the living room and having a casual conversation with him would be nice. Or sharing a kitchen environment. That would be fine. I think that'd be very enjoyable for me. Because I like, he does his own thing. But, he also likes to connect. He also likes to interact with other people. And that's something that I like as well. In, a shared kind of space environment. So... I don't know, I feel like that over the other things would make him my number 1.
Okay.
Out of all of them, I would probably choose to live with him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. What is your number 1?
My number 1 is Shu, because we would just leave each other alone and be able to exist in the same space without interacting.
The literal opposite reason that I'm choosing Limbo, basically.
I mean, so the roommates that I have right now, they were my friends before I moved in, and that's why we hang out and interact. But remember when I was younger, all of the roommates I had, I mean, I would go for, weeks without interacting with them.
That's true. And even here, you're not around your roommates all the time.
Yeah,
so.
No. I have my own space. I like having my own space. If I want to interact with people, I will, go out into the common space, but I don't do that a lot.
Okay.
Because I am more of an introvert.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I need a lot of quiet time. And I feel like Shu would, go about his business. He would take care of the things around the house that need to be taken care of. And if something needed to be addressed, he'd address it with me.
Yeah, very blunt.
Yeah, and then other than that, we'd leave each other alone, and it would be fine.
Okay. I can see that. I can totally see that for your personality.
Yeah. I think it would be fine. It might be a little awkward because I want to bone him, but...
You'd be like, wow, you're hot. Can we just do it all the time?
That would be a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. What about number 2?
So number 2 for me, I think is going to be Mozu.
Mozu?
Yeah. Because he will have a pristine bathroom. That is a number 1 thing. The kitchen will also be pristine. And he can cook. I can't complain about that. We could do shared meals. It'd be fun.
That makes sense for you.
What about you?
My number 2 is Limbo.
Really?
Yeah, for a lot of the reasons that you said, I think it would be very similar to living with Shu, except that Limbo would want more human interaction.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Scarecrow.
No.
Scarecrow's always, like, attached to his computer.
But he's also super blah-blah and awkward around women.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. No, my number 2
so
would be...
your number 2 is Limbo.
My number 2 would be Limbo. Also, he has, like, a full-time job out of the house.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, like, he'd be home when he needs to be home, and I don't feel like he has the personality where he would, like, come and bother you if he wanted to interact with you. And, like, he'd be able to read people, and he wouldn't push it if he could tell that, like, his roommate isn't really interested in talking right now, and he probably wouldn't get offended about it either.
Yeah,
he'd just be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's whatever.
Exactly the reason why I chose him for my number 1. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so Limbo's number 2.
Yeah. Do you feel like, okay, now I'm getting into a debatey territory.
Yeah,
but,
go ahead.
Limbo has a pretty regular routine. Like, he goes out in the daytime, does his lawyery stuff, comes back, goes home to sleep. Shu, on the other hand, very irregular routine. Like, he could be gone for days. And that's okay with you? Actually, that might even be preferred, because you just want to be alone.
Yeah, okay. I would be fine with that. He doesn't need to tell me where he's going.
Yeah, that's a great point.
He has his own life. I have my own life. We live our own lives.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, the only reason why I know my current roommate's schedules is because there is also a dog attached to them.
That's true.
And if the
Somebody
dog
has
is
to
home...
take the dog out.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, how cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I really thought we wouldn't have chosen similar people at the very top, so I'm surprised you chose Limbo as your number 2.
Well, what about your number 3?
So let's see. If I choose Limbo as my number 1 and Mozu as my number 2, who would I want to live with the third most? So, honestly, I feel like it would probably be somebody else who has a regular job. So, either Helvetica or Shu. But if it was Shu, I'd worry he'd be gone for so long, and then I'd feel like he'd be dead. I don't know. It would worry me if I lived with him, to be honest.
Even if you didn't know him very well, and you guys were just, like, sharing a living space?
I don't know.
You haven't had that experience.
I've only ever lived with people I know.
That's true.
Yeah.
You've only ever lived with family, your husband, or your college roommate was a close friend. Okay, so that in that case, this makes much more sense, because I've had a lot of experience living with basically strangers.
Yeah.
And you haven't had that, so you're not used to it.
I'm not used to it at all. Well, sort of. So but I've always had some sort of connection with them. My husband and we had a roommate who was a friend.
Oh, that's true.
But, like, I didn't know her very well. He didn't know her very well, and that was fine. But, like, I'm the type of person to, like, want to foster a relationship with the people I live with. And so, like, I feel like I would worry about Shu if I lived with him. So, based on that fact alone, I think I would bump him down to number 4, and I would say I'd prefer to live with Helvetica. Because at least he'd be consistent.
Okay, Helvetica's your number 3 then.
And he'd be clean as well.
Okay.
The cooking thing is weird, and I would feel a little bit weird if he was just lounging around in his robe all the time. But, like, I could get used to that. Hey, maybe I could even lounge around in my robe all the time. I hate pants.
Yeah, pants are terrible. Which is interesting, because right now you're wearing pants and I'm not.
I know. She's wearing shorts. I'm not saying she's not wearing pants. She's not saying she's not wearing pants. She's just saying she's wearing shorts.
They're not pants.
They're things covering your bottom half.
I am not wearing pants.
Okay, correct. But I'm just saying, you are wearing something on your bottom half. Don't make everyone think you're in your underwear.
I'm wearing those too.
Okay, so I told you my number 3. Who's your number 3?
My number 3 would be Scarecrow.
Okay, why?
Because even though he's awkward around women and a little wawa, he is also respectful of other people's spaces. And I feel like if I wanted him to leave me alone, he would leave me alone.
Yeah. I don't think Helvetica would. I think he would be all up in your business.
That's why he's not my number 3.
I don't mind that too much.
And you also said your number 4, so I guess I have to say my number 4.
Yeah, who's your number 4?
Mozu.
Oh, okay.
My number 4 is Mozu. But it's pretty, like, 4 and 5 are basically on par. I'm okay with some clutter.
Uh-huh.
I am clean, but I'm okay with a little bit of clutter.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think Mozu would be okay with that.
No, he would not. Everything would be pristine. That's my assumption.
And I cannot do that. So I think that would be a point of contention. I would need to be able to live with someone who's okay with, you know, not everything being perfectly organized, and maybe there are just, like, there's a shelf of just, like, stuff, and having, like, a random stuff drawer.
Yeah.
Or maybe the refrigerator isn't perfectly organized, and I just can't imagine Mozu being okay with that, and I think that would really, really bother both of us. I also don't like it when people touch my stuff.
Oh, so if he were to touch your stuff and put it back?
I would be very annoyed.
Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'd actually prefer that.
I mean, you would prefer that. I'm okay if you touch my stuff. You have definitely cleaned my room before.
Yes.
When I have been, because, you know, there have been times when I've been too sick to do anything, and you have very kindly come in and helped me with that. And
we're talking about strangers living with
we're
roommates.
talking about strangers. Yeah, I don't want strangers touching my stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about your number 5?
I mean, I've already told you it's Scarecrow.
Okay. But why? But why?
I don't know. I feel like he would annoy the shit out of me. I would want to kill him. Like, honestly. I get that he's very sweet once you have a relationship with him, and him and Tuta were, like, okay, well, actually, I'll talk about that later, because that's another question. But, me personally, I'd get pretty annoyed, I think, with him, and him being Wawa.
Yeah.
So...
You don't like the Wawas.
I do not like the Wawas. I would get pretty frustrated. Like, just chill. You do your thing. I'll do my thing. I don't need you being the prince of the underworld or whatever you want to call yourself. I forget what his self-proclaimed title was.
Like an underworld boss or something.
Yes, exactly. I don't want to hear about it. Just, like, do your thing. Live your life, you know?
Yeah. Live your life. Living life.
So, what about you then?
I mean, my number 5 is Helvetica, because he'd be all up in my business, and I do not want that.
Yeah, you do not want that.
I do not want that. Do you remember the roommate that I had once who would, like, knock on my door to ask to borrow random things in order to start a conversation? Like, no. She would knock on my door and she would ask me if I had a hanger she could borrow. And when I gave her the hanger, she would not leave, and she would start a conversation with me.
That is frustrating.
And I'd be like, my door was closed. I am busy.
Please leave me alone.
Please leave me alone.
Yeah.
And it was real annoying, because she did not get it.
Yeah.
She just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And it's like, sometimes I'd be sleeping, or sometimes, like, I'd be on a video call, or I'd be doing homework, and she would always, like, just want to be chatting.
Yeah.
And even after talking to her about it, I don't think she ever got it. So I feel like Helvetica would be like that, but on purpose.
Yeah, he would have a reason. That doesn't bother me so much. To be honest, like, I don't mind interacting with people.
When you're trying to work?
Yeah, even then, to be honest.
I just found a cat hair on your shirt.
I'm really not surprised by that. Wow.
Make a wish.
This is Tada's cat hair. I wish for the happiness of all the people in the world.
Do you think it came true?
I hope so.
I don't think it came true.
That's pessimistic, but I think you're right.
I'm a realist. I am neither a pessimist nor an optimist. I am a realist.
Yes. Well, it's very unlikely.
I hope for the best and plan for the worst.
Yes, you do. Many plans, actually.
All the plans. I'm really good at planning things. My hobby is planning things.
Yeah. It's real annoying. You can plan for anything.
Unless I'm planning things for you.
If I need them planned, yes, it is very helpful.
Yeah, I write your emails.
You do. That was very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Okay, next question.
Ooh! All right, so this is not a ranking.
No, this is not a ranking.
We cheated a little bit. Yeah, it's a fun question. How quickly would this LI die if they were isekai'd into a different Ultimate game?
Yes. And I have the wonderful Cup a la Hideyoshi
Our Hideyoshi mug.
Ikemen Sengoku.
It's usually the Yukimura mug, but we're at my house today.
Vicky's house today.
So it's the Hideyoshi mug.
So I've got a list of games in here that sister and I have talked about many times, or have some knowledge about, and I'm gonna pull them out of the mug as we go. But first, I need to know who we're going to isekai into this game.
Okay, the first one is Limbo. So how quickly would Limbo die if isekai'd into...
Alice in the Country of literally anything.
Oh, Alice in the Country of Hearts.
I think he'd be a surprisingly good fit for this world, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he'd be able to actually acclimate relatively quickly because he's used to ridiculousness.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I would worry about is all of the violence that's going on.
Him getting murdered.
Yeah, so I think he would last quite a while. I think he'd be able to, like, live there for a while, but I also think that he would die eventually.
I agree. But I really do think he would acclimate very quickly. Yeah. I think he'd be a good fit.
There are too many guns and swords in that game, and there's too much murder going on.
For sure.
He would eventually be murdered.
For sure. Yeah. But what, like, world doesn't need a lawyer? A back alley lawyer?
Actually, I don't think there are any lawyers in that game.
Well, they need one now.
Yeah.
Limbo, do your job.
Okay.
I think he'd be pretty good.
He could be Blood's lawyer.
He could be... Lawyer of the mafia boss? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean that basically fits his profile.
It does, yes, it does. It's very nice. I like that. Okay.
Well, good job,
Actually,
Limbo.
I think he would perform really, really well.
Yeah.
Well, let's see who's next. Let's see who can who can hang out here.
So, how quickly would Shu die if he was isekai'd into...
Prince of Tennis. Why did we put this in here? Because nobody is gonna die in Prince of Tennis, Gakuen Sai no Oji-sama.
Shu would live forever. However,
he would probably beat up a lot of people.
He would not play tennis.
No, he would not play tennis.
He would be like, why is everyone playing tennis? And he would leave.
I think so too.
He'd go and try to be somewhere else in this world filled with tennis courts and everyone obsessed with tennis and street tennis.
Yeah, maybe he'd want to be a street tennis player.
He would not. Do you really?
No, he wouldn't play tennis.
He would not want to be a street tennis player.
Really though, why did we put this one in here?
because we put all of the games that we are either like currently playing or playing on stream or we've talked about, and we're currently as of right now we are playing Gakuen Sai no Oji-sama. We're gonna switch to another Prince of Tennis game pretty soon.
But still Prince of Tennis.
Yeah, still Prince of Tennis. Yeah. So, Shu being in the Prince of Tennis. Wow.
So, specifically for Gakuen Sai no Oji-sama, the storyline is about a school festival. I don't know how well he'd be able to deal with any of that. I feel like he'd be like, y'all, I'm gone.
I think
I'm not about this.
Sleep in the closet.
Probably.
He'd go nap in the closet.
He'd go do something somewhere else because he's not all about their energy. Okay, well, yeah, poor Shu. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate for you.
Yeah, that's a bad fit. You wouldn't die, but it would be horrible for you. Sorry, Shu.
Yeah, Limbo's winning. Yeah. I mean, he'd do pretty well in Alice, but Shu and Prince of Tennis, I feel quite sad for him.
All right. How quickly would Helvetica die if isekai'd into...
Dun, da, da, da. Diabolic Lovers! Oh,
Helvetica would be a very good vampire.
Yeah, he would. That's really good, actually. That's a great fit. That's surprising.
That's an oddly good fit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, all of the characters in Diabolic Lovers are really, like...
Damaged
and violent.
I mean, Helvetica's damaged.
But not violent.
But not violent, yes.
So I do think Helvetica would die fairly quickly. He'd die as soon as he annoyed someone. Even though his person... Like, if he was a vampire...
Do you think he could charm his way out of it, though?
Charm who?
Oh, that's a good point. None of them can be charmed. They're all unreasonable shitheads.
Yes, every single character in Diabolic Lovers is unreasonable. and not easily charmed.
Okay, assume he takes the perspective of kind of being a hard ass. Like, he could be violent.
But, so my question is, when he is isekai, does he turn into a vampire, or is he still human?
Ooh, good question.
Because if he turns into a vampire, I think he would acclimate very well and live a long, healthy vampire life. However, if he was human, I think he would annoy someone really quickly and then die.
Yeah. So I think I would want to put him at the same level as the other LIs. So if not a vampire, then at least a werewolf.
Okay. He'd be a better vampire.
I agree. He would be a way better vampire.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think he could do werewolf too.
I don't think so? I disagree.
Okay.
I don't think he'd be a good werewolf.
Well,
can you imagine him trying to interact with Carla? Carla would murder him.
Even if he was a werewolf, yeah, he would.
He would just murder him. Like 3 words in.
Okay, which family though? If he was going to be which family would he best fit with?
I think he would best fit with the Sakamaki brothers because they all annoy the shit out of each other.
And he would just join in on the fun?
Yeah, the Mukami brothers actually get along with each other.
Yeah, I guess we don't have a very high opinion of Helvetica's socialization skills.
No, he does. He puts on a good face if you don't know him that well, but once you get to know him, he's a dick.
Yeah, he's lovable.
So he fits in with the Sakamaki brothers way better.
Okay, I'm really surprised. That was a good pull. Like that was a really good.
Okay, so far Shu is losing.
Yeah, poor Shu.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean he's not gonna die, but he's just not gonna fit.
Yeah.
All right, so how quickly would Mozu die if isekai'd into
Tokimeki Memorial Girl Side 4th Heart?
He'd live out his best life. Mozu will live forever.
Can we try another one?
No.
Please?
No.
Come on. I've got like 5 more in here.
And we have 1 more LI to go. I think this is great. Mozu is your favorite character, and he will live happily ever after in this game.
This is a cop-out.
No, it's not.
He's not even in school.
But he would be able to, go through high school. He's got good brains. He his socialization skills aren't great, sure, but he's good at his job, and he'd be able to, go back to his job.
Okay, well, I guess he'd be fine. He's not gonna die, and that makes me happy, but it's very
He'd have to raise some other stats and make sure that nobody gets mad at him so bombs don't go off, but...
Does that happen in Tokimeki Memorial?
Well, it's a love bomb. So if you pay attention to someone and then start to ignore them, a little bomb shows up by their affection meter and you have to pay attention to them, and if the bomb goes off, it's game over.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So if he's the MC, he'd have a little work to do, but if he's an LI or a side character, I think he'd be fine.
Okay. All right, Mozu, you're doing fine. Good for you.
Good for you. All right.
Somehow Shu's still doing the worst, though.
Sorry, Shu. Okay, how quickly would Scarecrow die if isekai'd into...
Scarecrow's our last one. If he was isekai'd into Hakuoki.
Oh, Scarecrow would die real fast.
Wow.
If he was isekai'd into Hakuoki?
Okay, but does he get to become a Rasetsu? That's the question.
No, he's Scarecrow. He would have to purposefully drink the stuff. True. Or someone would have to force him to drink it.
Would he? He probably wouldn't.
No, he'd be terrified and run away.
He wouldn't. He would die pretty quickly, I suppose.
Yeah.
Unless he made really good friends with some of them.
Okay, this is Hakuoki. What happens at the end of Hakuoki?
Well, we don't want to ruin it for people.
Uh-huh. We don't want to ruin this actually relatively historically accurate game in terms of endings.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Scarecrow would die.
Scarecrow would die pretty quickly.
Very quickly. So, Scarecrow loses.
Yeah, even worse than Shu.
Yeah.
I mean, Shu wouldn't die at all, but still, it's a bad match. I'm sorry, Scarecrow.
So, the worst
worst is Scarecrow and Hakuoki.
Yeah.
He's not going to do very well. He'll die quickly.
Yeah, second is Shu and
Prince of Tennis. Not because he's going to die, but
he'd just be very unhappy.
It's a bad fit.
Yeah.
And then we have these 3. Mozu and Tokimeki.
I think Mozu in Tokimeki would be the next one because he'd be annoyed that he has to go to high school over again and to med school over again.
Do you think Helvetica would enjoy being in Diabolic Lovers?
I do think Helvetica would enjoy being in Diabolic Lovers.
So are we agreeing that Limbo and Alice is pretty good?
Limbo and Alice is oddly a good fit.
Even though he'd die. Okay, so this has nothing to do with the question. The question is how quickly quickly would they die if isekai'd into this world, we're not ranking them based on whether they die or not. We're ranking them based on whether or not they're a good fit for that game.
It's fine.
We've changed the question completely.
That's fine. The question is still, how quickly would they die if isekai'd into blank?
Okay. Well, then, if that's the case, we'll put Helvetica and Diabolic Lovers as second, because I think he'd be pretty good at that. Yeah. Then Mozu and Tokimeki, and Shu and Prince of Tennis, and then Scarecrow and Hakuoki.
Scarecrow and Hakuoki, he'd last like 5 minutes.
Yes. Interestingly enough, both the first spot and the last spot would die. You guys, we don't know how to do rankings. I don't know what we ended up with, but this was interesting.
I'm having so much fun.
This was fun. I'm really surprised by the first two that we got. Like, Limbo and Alice in the Country of Hearts is a good fit. Helvetica and Diabolic Lovers is also a good fit.
The rest are not good
The rest are just like, I'm sorry for Scarecrow being in Hakuoki.
I would watch that anime episode.
I'd also watch the anime episode of Prince of Tennis with Shu in it. Poor Shu.
Yeah, I feel like the Tokimeki Memorial with Mozu would be fairly boring.
It'd be a slice of life anime.
It would be a slice of life anime.
That'd be fun. I think that'd be worth watching in the background, you know? Okay, well, we're done with that one.
Yeah.
So now let's do another actual ranking.
Best match for the MC.
Best match for the MC. Who is my OTP?
Yeah.
For Tuta.
Yeah.
In Best of Fellows.
Who's the OTP for Tuta?
Are we going worst to best? Best to worst.
Let's do best to worst.
Okay. My best is Scarecrow.
Me too.
Wow. And we're done.
I do think Scarecrow is the best match for Tuta. I feel like in terms of both age, where they are in life, and maturity, they are on a very similar level, and that way they can grow together as a couple.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And the way they interact, I feel like when I was playing this game and playing the good endings for Scarecrow, it felt the most natural of a progression in their relationship. Like, there was no forcing it, aside from all of the crazy stuff that happens in between. But based on their connection alone, it felt like, okay, that could be a pretty good relationship. Yeah. Pretty normal.
It was a natural progression. Minus the crazy stuff.
Yeah. But I thought it was a good fit. So I would definitely say yes, number one would be Scarecrow.
Okay, we have agreed on that. Who's your number two?
My number two. Actually, tell me your number two first, and then I'll tell you mine.
Okay, my number two is Limbo.
You think Limbo is also a good fit for Tuta?
I also think that Limbo is a good fit for Tuta.
Okay.
I do think that it's definitely a little bit more like, Limbo has a little bit more life experience, and he's kind of taking the lead with things. But I think in terms of personality, they're a pretty good match. They get along really well, and I also felt like their interactions and the progression of their relationship was another one of the more natural ones.
Okay. I can see that. Originally, I think I was going to say Mozu, but now that I'm rethinking it, now that you've said that, I think you're probably right.
I love doing these because Vka always has like a list in her head, and then I say my opinions and my reasons for them, and she changes her mind.
You make good arguments. You have good reasons. You're a smart lady.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I try to be a smart lady. I think you're smarter, though.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's true.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is.
I think we're smart in different ways.
You have a graduate degree.
I do, yes.
I don't.
That's okay.
It is okay.
Degrees don't tell you how smart you are.
I don't want a graduate degree.
Okay, so then I'll agree with you, Limbo. Okay. Who's number three?
You go first now.
Oh, okay. Mozu.
Yeah, Mozu.
Maybe we're just gonna agree on this one the whole time. That's first.
I don't know if we're gonna agree the whole time.
Okay.
I don't know. What are your reasons for Mozu being number three?
I just feel like it would be a predictable life for them. You know, like they're both sweet. Mozu is quite immature when it comes to matters of the heart, and I think so is Tuta because she's young and a little bit just, you know.
She's a Wawa girlfriend.
Yes, she's a Wawa girlfriend. So I think he wouldn't be... I think it'd be okay. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best fit, like I said, but I I did like their interactions in the game. I felt like she got him to open up a lot more, and he really did kind of show his feelings or his romantic side. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really cute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, also, Mozu's your favorite.
Also, Mozu's my favorite. Mozu's my favorite. I like Mozu, personally. I would marry him.
Yeah. I think the thing with Mozu is I foresee communication issues in their future.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Yeah. Like, that is my thing with Mozu and Tuta's, like, personalities and their relationship and their connection. Mm-hmm. Tuta is very straightforward, but she also worries a lot.
Yeah.
And Mozu is very reserved and poker-faced, and he's a thinker. He internalizes everything.
Yeah.
And in a relationship where there's one person who externalizes everything and one person internalizes everything, it can definitely be a little difficult to find common ground.
Yeah. You know, I have experience with this, though. Because I am the type of person to externalize everything, and my wonderful husband is the type of person to internalize everything, and I think we have a great relationship.
So did you marry Mozu? Because I do not think your husband is anything like Mozu. I see what you're saying here, but your husband is nothing like Mozu.
Yeah, I guess he's quite a bit more outgoing in that way.
Yeah, he is. He's actually pretty damn outgoing when he's with his friends.
Yes, when he's with his friends. Mm-hmm. It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. When he's with my significant other
is his friend. Yeah.
It's a problem.
Anyways. Okay, so Mozu. So then are we at 4?
Yeah, we're at 4. I think that Shu is number 4.
You think Shu is number 4?
I think Shu is number 4. I think Shu is number 4 because he is definitely more emotionally mature than Chuta.
Uh-huh.
And even though they come from very different walks of life, and even though they live very different lives, I feel like when they have arguments, they would be able to talk it out with each other, and you see that in the game.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is a disconnect in probably in the way that they want to live their lives moving forward, and that's why I'm putting him at number 4.
That's exactly the same reason I put him at number 4.
Oh! Oh, good lord.
Because of that. Like, I think the relationship is quite good. She could learn a lot from him. He could learn a lot from her. Mm-hmm. But,
I don't think they're headed in the same direction.
Yeah, his job and her job are not gonna mesh.
They're also at different points in their lives.
They're also at different points in their lives. I think through a lot of his roots, she has some moral, waverings about how he goes about and does things. So, I don't know. I don't think it's the best. He's the best match for her.
Yeah. And, Shu is my favorite. Yeah. I love him to death.
Yeah.
But just there are a lot of moments when he and Tuta were interacting, and Tuta would say or do something, and I'd be like, no.
Yeah, not a good fit, I think.
Yeah. So, I guess we agree on number 5.
Yeah, we do. We actually agree on this ranking all the way through.
Number 5 is Helvetica.
Absolutely Helvetica.
Okay, you tell me why.
So, I definitely think, and I think I said this when when we were doing the reviews and twos, especially the spoiler version, because I personally like Helvetica as a character. Mm-hmm. I think he's great. I would personally date him because I think he's pretty interesting. But I think he's just, like, him and Tuta, they don't have the right chemistry.
Yeah.
The whole route felt very forced for me between the two of them. Like, it felt like a big pity show, and I felt really, really, really bad because I really wanted Tuta to love Helvetica for who he was, and I wanted him to love her for who she was, but I feel like because of the circumstances they were in, that's what really brought them together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like had there not been those circumstances, like, there wouldn't have even been a romance between the two of them.
Yeah. No. So it's like the communication, like, I feel like they wouldn't want the same things. Yeah. They wouldn't in a relationship or in life or just anything. Like, I also didn't see the connection there.
Yeah.
And I don't. There were a number of times where I just didn't like the way Helvetica talked to her, or the way that Helvetica talked about women in general. Mm-hmm. I definitely felt a little bit of underlying misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
And the teasing, the way he teased her, the barbs I felt were too sharp sometimes.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I think for me, after getting to know his backstory,
Mm-hmm.
made me understand those comments a little bit more from a different perspective. So I kind of got it in that way. But I still think he wouldn't necessarily be a good match for her at all. Like, I think out of the 5, he's just the worst. Like, they shouldn't really actually be together.
Yeah. Well, and also, just understanding why somebody does something or says something doesn't necessarily make it okay.
True. Yeah. So, we actually agree on this one, which is kind of nice.
That's weird.
It's very weird. I wonder if we're going to agree on the next one.
Okay.
So, let's just say that the next one is also a weird, fun one, and we are not doing any of this right, because we decided to pull some sticky notes out of the wonderful Hideyoshi mug again for this one.
So, sister, what's the question?
The question is, how would this LI do at another LI's job? And the LI that is going to be up for grabs here for that character is someone from the same game.
Yep. So
we're just gonna pull them out of the mug, see who gets what. If I pull the same name, I'll have to just put it back and then try again. But we'll see what happens. So are we gonna go in the same order that we did the last one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So how would Limbo do at whose job?
Limbo's job. How would Limbo do at Limbo? You know, I'll be honest, I think he'd do pretty good.
Please draw another name.
Okay.
And then put Limbo back.
All right, how would Limbo do at Scarecrow's job?
Oh, not terribly.
Like, is Limbo really that tech savvy?
So, I don't think Limbo is super tech savvy. I do think Limbo is more tech savvy than some of the other LIs.
Okay.
So I don't think he would be great at his job, but I also don't think that he would be... Like, I don't think it would immediately blow up in his face. Like, Limbo is a smart dude.
Yeah, I guess he could figure it out.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he'd be a genius,
if
though.
If Scarecrow had, like, a generic, regular tech job, I can see Limbo being pretty successful. But assuming Scarecrow is still hacking the shit out of governments, I feel like Limbo would totally fail.
Okay, but think of it this way. What if they were all, like, counting on Scarecrow to do something in his little room, and they were all in the little room together, and Scarecrow had a heart attack and died?
Morbid, but okay.
I think out of all of the other LIs, Limbo would be one of the least likely to fail if something still needed to happen.
Okay. Yeah.
I can think of other ones that would be worse at the job, I guess.
True. I agree. I can think of other ones that would be worse. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he would be the best at it. I feel like if we were actually ranking this by how successful would Limbo be at Scarecrow's job, I don't think he'd be the most successful.
No, he would not be the most successful, but he would also not be the least successful.
Okay, so he's middle ground at this
he's
point.
middle ground.
Okay. So, Scarecrow, your
Scarecrow's
job is being done by Limbo, and let's hope the world doesn't blow up.
Okay.
Shu's next?
Shu is next. How would Shu do at whose job?
Mozu's job. Surprisingly well, I think.
Actually, yeah.
I think he would do really well.
I feel like Shu has to know at least a little bit about human anatomy to be an assassin.
I think so too.
I think out of all of the... no, he would not be the best. He'd be the second best.
That's true. Helvetica would be the best.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Helvetica.
Yeah, we're talking about Shu.
So yeah, he'd be okay. He'd be better. He'd be above Limbo.
For sure. I think he would... Well, so... Since they're already dead, and it's not like Mozu's trying to, like, heal them or bring them back to life.
No, he's just trying to figure out how they died.
I think Shu would probably do a pretty good job. I think that's a good fit.
Yeah.
Okay, so good job, Shu.
Good job, Shu.
Being the head coroner. You could totally do that. Well, maybe not the head coroner, but, like, one of them.
Yeah. Helvetica's up next. How would Helvetica do at whose job?
How would Helvetica do at Shu's job?
Poorly.
Yeah. I don't think he would do too well.
He's not about the violence.
That's unfortunate.
I don't think he'd be very good at shooting people. He's a lover, not a fighter.
I think he could try if he really cared enough. If it was really worth it.
Like, you'd have to really push him to his breaking point.
Yeah, but I don't think he could do that as a job.
Helvetica is also fairly breakable in terms of the, psychology aspect.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Helvetica.
Yeah.
No,
also, he's not very muscular or very athletic.
No, this is the worst so far. This is the worst so far.
Yeah, he'd die.
He would die.
He would not be able to be an assassin. Or bounty hunter, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Assassin
so sorry.
of assassins.
Yes, assassin of assassins. Poor Helvetica.
No, he goes below.
Oh, below Scarecrow. You're right. Okay.
All right, so next up is Mozu. How would Mozu do at whose job?
Well, we only have Limbo's job or Helvetica's job, so... Limbo!
Mozu would be very bad at Limbo's job.
He would be very bad at Limbo's job. That's unfortunate.
You have to be charming and talk to people.
Yeah. I bet you he could do the reports, though, really well.
Yeah, he could. I don't think he'd be as bad as Helvetica at Shu's job, but he'd still be pretty bad.
Do you think he'd be worse or better than Limbo at Scarecrow's job?
I think he'd be better. He could get the facts down.
I agree.
His issue would be he would not be able to
go to trial and argue a case.
Yeah.
I think so too.
He'd be able to do facts, and that's just about it.
So, compared to Shu being the coroner and Mozu being a lawyer, who would do better?
I think Shu would do better at being a coroner.
You think so?
I
feel
do.
like Mozu would be a better lawyer than Shu would be a coroner.
Do you think do you think Shu knows more about causes of death than Mozu knows about the law, the legal system? Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think Shu knows more about causes of death than Mozu knows about the legal system.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, I think you're right. Okay, well, we only have one option left, so...
Oh, God, so Scarecrow,
are you going to be able to do Helvetica's job?
No! He would kill people.
Yeah.
No, he's the worst. Hands down, he's the worst. He would not be able to be a plastic surgeon. Would you put a knife in that man's hands?
No, I wouldn't.
He would be...
Well, yeah, and at least Helvetica can handle a knife, so he could technically do Shu's job if he really needed to.
Yeah. Scarecrow would be a walking lawsuit.
Really bad. He'd be a walking lawsuit.
Yes!
We'd sue him for mispractice.
Yes!
Or malpractice.
He would be immediately sued for malpractice.
Oh my god, how funny. Okay, so these are the final rankings. Number 1, Shu would be the best at Mozu's job. Number 2, Mozu would be the best at Limbo's job.
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay. Number 3, Limbo doing Scarecrow's job.
Yes.
Kind of middle ground. He wouldn't blow things up, but it probably wouldn't go well. And then the last 2, they're kind of on par for me, but yeah, I wouldn't put a knife in Scarecrow's hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't want to have Shu or Helvetica try to become a bounty hunter, and I definitely wouldn't want to have Scarecrow try to be a plastic surgeon. Those are all bad matches.
Wonderful. We actually did that right. How would this LI do at another LI's job?
Yes, that was the question.
Yes, that was the question, and we answered
the question this time. I'm really proud of us.
Yay! Success!
Yay, success. I'm also really proud at Shu, to be honest.
I am also proud of Shu. Good job, Shu. Applause.
Okay, final thoughts. How do you guys feel about all of our rankings? And do you guys actually agree that we ranked anything today? Because I'm not so sure.
Also, just how do you feel about this in general?
How was this episode? I forgot how to do podcasting.
No. This is exactly what we do. We turn the microphone on and we just say bullshit, and then people listen to us.
I'm sorry, friends.
No,
thank
you're not.
You. I am a little bit.
Why?
In some ways.
Don't be sorry.
I really hope that they're enjoying it, at least.
I had fun.
Yes, these are your favorite because you like to argue with me.
Yeah, yes, I do. I always win. I always win. At least when we're recording the podcast. I don't always win in real life, but when we're recording the podcast, for some reason, I always win.
I don't know what to say to that.
Neither do I. It's amazing, because usually you win.
How do you feel about that?
Enlightened?
Okay. Yeah. My sister has a lot of knowledge as well. She's got a good memory, so.
I remember everything.
She does.
Anyways, we have a question for you guys, though.
We do. Later today on our Twitter, we will be posting this question, and we want you guys to answer it. Mm-hmm. Who would you want to be roommates with?
Yeah.
I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Let us know what you're like, who your ideal roommate is, from Best of Fellows, of course. Mm-hmm. And come check out our Twitter.
Yeah, so that will be posted on Twitter today, August 14th at 1 p.m. PST.
We're excited to hear what you think.
Yep.
As always, if you like what you hear and would like to support us, we have a Ko-fi account where you can donate to keeping the podcast going.
We also have Twitter and Instagram where you can stay updated on what we're up to and other Ultimate-related stuff.
Additionally, we also stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, plus the occasional Wednesday when Vki wants to make shirts fall off.
Yay!
Thanks everyone for listening.
Bye! One way or another, I'm gonna find ya. I'm gonna get ya. Hi, friends. Let's see. Can you hear me? It says that you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. That would be good. This is Vki and only Vki. Hello, Vka. Wonderful. I'm glad you all can hear me. So this is our schedule for next week. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it because it's a little different from our usual schedules. PS Tuesdays has turned into PS Wednesdays. So on Tuesday at 4 p.m. I'm going to be playing Touken Ranbu Warriors, doing my solo stream. And then on Wednesday and Thursday it will be both Vka and myself from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Yes. It's just for this week. We switch things up a little bit. So Wednesday, 6 p.m. will be Gakuen Sai no Oji-sama. We will be continuing with Sanada's route. Will we finish it? Who knows? We will see. And then Thursday, 6 p.m., we will be continuing with Gilbert Redford's route in Pio Fiore Faded Memories. We're really excited about that. No new podcast episode, but that's okay. We will have a new one in a couple of weeks, and we will post about it on all of the places when that's going to come out. So thank you all for joining us today. We really, really, really appreciate it. This was a fun one to record, and we're really excited that we're kind of getting back into the groove of things. And we will see you all next time. Bye!